Pilot Mode Online.
Welcome, my name is Wash. Today we'll be talking about Star Wars Battlefront II. I'll be addressing my biggest grievance with the game and proposing a solution that'll not only make certain choices more impactful, but also make the game more friendly and forgiving to new players looking to pick it up now that it's been given the much needed polish. So sit back, relax, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Before we get started, we need to understand the rocky road Battlefront II has traveled thus far. Battlefront II intended to right the wrongs of its 2015 predecessor. It launched with a single-player campaign, promised to have more multiplayer content than the original, and returned to the class system that the franchise was known for, while promising that all post-launch content would be free for everybody. The game lived up to that, but launched with one of the most intrusive microtransaction systems we've ever seen in the industry. Players could spend their real, hard-earned money on in-game gems that could be used to purchase upgrades for their multiplayer classes and unlock hero characters, which in previous titles had been available to all players from the get-go. The more money you spent, the better your character would be, and the more likely you were to win. Combined with the ludicrous grind times that sometimes took over 40 hours to unlock one hero, this system was obviously engineered to milk players for their every penny. And players let it be known that they would not stand for this, and many people who sought to purchase the game after release ended up boycotting it instead. EA's excuse became the most downvoted comment in Reddit history, and it still bears that burden. You already know all of this though. Battlefront's road to recovery has been at the forefront of games media with every update that DICE has released. So what's my problem with the game? Is it the wonky hit detection? Is it the insane grind to get skins for heroes and troopers? Or is it the server lag that seems to eat up half of my shots and get me killed through a wall? Nope, none of the above. It's the game's greatest allure. It's the hero system itself. Now, before y'all start ripping me a new one, let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Remember Battlefront II way back in 2005? Remember how when you got to play as a hero in the standard game modes, you had to make the best of it, because you were on a timer? Now, back then, one could extend this timer by being good at the game. You pushed objectives, wiped out several enemies at once, or even killing an enemy vehicle could extend your time as that hero, but you couldn't keep playing them forever. Not unless you were playing Hero Assault, but that's a different story. You probably see where I'm going with this now. In today's Battlefront, one merely has to rack up a certain number of battle points in order to access the playable heroes. After that, as long as there's controller input on your end, you could AFK the entire match and you would never lose your place as that hero. Fortunately, AFK players aren't as big of an issue anymore, and DICE has seemingly cracked down on them. No, my issue is with how players can keep their hero for the entire match, rack up tens of thousands of points, drag out the match for as long as possible, and then be at the top of the leaderboard, even if the rest of us fought harder, pushed more, and generally tried to play the game. Here's the cycle that I've noticed. The match starts and high-level players roam the map, killing anyone they see and capturing all of the objectives. And that's pretty normal. It happens in any game. Then the high-level players get access to heroes, and their hero is always kitted with the best cards to boost health regen, and the damage they do. And that's where things start to go sideways. Because Battlefront has so many ways a player can earn points, it doesn't matter that heroes earn reduced points. Heroes will always have a small group of low-level players following them, waiting to mop up whoever is left after the hero slaughters defenders at an objective. And this will result in a game of musical objectives where two teams chase each other around the map, always two objectives behind the other, capturing and losing an objective simultaneously. Defenders are left with no one to fight until that damn red circle appears on the radar. A player who wants to live longer will simply run away upon seeing it, while more brazen players will stay and fight and die in short order. They'll complain that nobody came to support them and gripe about how much more health a hero has. They'll cheer when 5 of them manage to take down one hero, having used up all of their abilities, but their celebration will be cut short by the party of grunts that were following their fallen ally. Capital Supremacy is the only game mode that I really play, and in this mode the cycle causes a single match to drag out for as long as an hour, and slowly I lose interest in playing, and I just want it to end so that I can play on a different map, or in some cases just change the game, and that's never a good thing. You don't want your game to make players want to stop playing it. The cycle takes a fun game mode, and it makes it a taxing endeavor with no end in sight. I've started matches and had quit before ever setting foot in the enemy capital ship, all because the game was taking too long and I had to leave the house for work or for errands. And that's actually how my first match of Capital Supremacy went. I had to leave the game just to go to work. You might say that I should just play Galactic Assault, but it's the same cycle. It's not the mode. It's how the heroes are implemented and balanced. How would I fix it? Well, there's 2 ways you could do that. The easiest way would to reduce the amount of health these heroes have. The easiest way isn't always the best way though. Sorry, William of Ockham, but your razor won't be useful here. Reducing their health would make them feel less like the super unit that they're supposed to be. Instead, I propose that we keep them as they are, but with one condition. I say that heroes should have 2 timers instead of just the one that they already have. The first one will limit how long you get to play as that hero, and the second one is a cooldown before you can play as a hero again. I think that a player should be restricted to maybe 2 or 3 minutes as the hero, and have an equivalent cooldown. It forces players to think about what they're doing and how they're going to approach combat, but also gives them enough time to play the hero and to engage in combat. And the second timer allows another player, maybe someone who is just learning the game, to take control and experience the very thing that brought them to Battlefront II. And as you can see in the footage, I'm not very good with heroes, but that's because I almost never get to play as them. The top players just have them insta-locked before I ever get to select one. Heroes are meant to be super units. They're powerful, super tanky, agile, and expensive to play as. In other games, they shine brighter, bite harder, and burn out faster because they take priority over grunts. And that's why the classic timer in Battlefront worked so well. It made players make the most of their limited time. It accelerated gameplay and balanced these super units so they fit in the sandbox, impacted combat, but never broke the game. With a timer system, casual players would get to experience the game's biggest draw, and longtime players would still be able to impact the flow of combat and swing the match one way or the other. Matches would flow faster, and the cycle of musical objectives would likely cease to exist. Player retention would increase, and I would be able to consider Battlefront II one of the many games that I call home, like Fallout 4 and Titanfall 2. There's no one way to play Battlefront, and no one person should always be at the top of the leaderboard. So, how do we fix a system that benefits the best players and prevents others from getting good? It's simple. We give people a chance to get good. We make the best players push harder, but take that thing away for just as much time as they had it. Anyways, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Keep them constructive, and if you have a different opinion, please share it with me. I want to hear what you have to say. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more of my content and maybe want something a little more lighthearted, check out my Shit Guide to Titanfall 2 series. Anyways, my name is Wash, and I'll see you in the next one.